This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. We are focused on your success, especially if you're somebody that has some properties or a property that you like to rent out. And what do? Nowadays, you use some of these big websites where people search and they find you. And the other part of that is the person that finds you has to pay, don't even know that they're paying, additionally to stay there. And then you're paying that website to list you. Let's change the model of that. Got a gentleman here that has a great company called DirectStay. And they're going to learn a lot today from Breck Rubin, who joins us on the program. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve. Super excited to be here and get to meet with you, and looking forward to it.
I know people that rent out their properties, and I'm intrigued about the whole business model that you offer. Let's start with what makes DirectStay different than the other websites that we're referring to.
Yeah, great question. So one of the most important things to us, Steve, is that we get to empower people to have. We really want to put power back in the hands of the true host, the true property owner, the true business owner, and we do that. It's all set up to bring them freedom, empowerment, true ownership. We want them to have a real business, and so a lot of people think they have a real business, but they really don't, and they're being taken advantage of, and that trickles down to the guests as well. And so we have been doing this for about 7 years, my wife and I, as short-term rental owners, and we went through all these different painful, suffering points as business owners, and just talked to so many people through the process, and realized that there needed to be some change and some disruption, and that's how DirectStay came about.
And then there's the communication. As a somebody that stays at different places, the communication with the owner, sometimes there's a disconnect there. And then you also have the situation where something goes awry, then you have to maybe get a refund from the big website. And I had never had to do that, but I have a friend that did, even recently, because it just wasn't represented on the website, didn't reflect where he was staying. That was a whole big deal. He didn't even know he was going to get the money back and all of that. Is this for anybody that has even just one property to rent?
It absolutely is. And I think, just going back to what you said a minute ago, you hit it right on the head there with that example, Steve, is that the biggest thing for us is trust and transparency. And we've invested a lot in that because we believe that's most important. And then also, we believe in building a true connection and relationship. And so from day one, when a guest is on our platform or our site looking for a vacation experience, and they connect with a host, from that moment, initial moment, they will be able to communicate freely and between each other, because we want to be able to enable and empower, like just you and I are having a great conversation, Steve. We want that to be from day one, without somebody having to book first to be able to do that. So they'll be able to connect directly with their host or the property owner that is listing that specific place that they want to go, and they'll be able to have that relationship, be able to talk about, what the specific property questions, what do I need to bring, what's include, all those things. We want to have that relationship, that free form of communication, wide open for them.
I'm okay with saying the other websites. Are you okay with mentioning the ones?
If you want to, we'll go with it. So,
for
sure.
example, an Airbnb, right?
Yes.
A lot of us go there, VRBO, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you feel that the perception of the public is that these properties are really coming from Airbnb? It's owned by other people, obviously, but it's viewed as more of an Airbnb property.
Yes, absolutely. You hit it on the head, Steve. Great question. And that's exactly what I believe the perception is. But that's the perception they portrayed. And so it's a little misleading, because everybody that you see on Airbnb, they're individuals, or they have multiple properties, they're entrepreneurs and things like that, but they they don't have full control over their own listing even, which is, I think, a big
Mm.
concern. And so in all the communities on Facebook, different things, you talk to people, different hosts, you want to find out what their pain points are, where they're, they're really suffering as hosts and those things. And you find out that it's all the rules and regulations that they're shocked about. And so we really want to open that up and negate those things and really empower people to be able to run their business as they see fit, build great connections and relationships, and help that guest that's paying a lot of money to stay at their property to have a five-star experience.
It's interesting that when you take a look at the eBay model, and we're talking about different things being sold or
Sure.
rented, but when you go on eBay, I feel like I'm dealing with the person actually selling. eBay is just the portal for that,
Right.
whereby just what you said, when you go to Airbnb, they're kind of hijacking the whole transaction in a big way. Would you say that you're a little bit more of like the eBay business model in some
Or
regards?
Shopify, Steve. Yeah, great questions.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's the empowerment that we just want to be the place that you can come to and use. We do a lot of marketing for our hosts. We want to see them exceed and excel and really have, like I said, I'll keep going back to this, a real business, true ownership. And true ownership means that you have the true ability to be able to run your business as you see fit. And you should have the right to set up your rules, your regulations, your cancellation policies. You talked about earlier, Steve, about refunds. The host should be able to handle that refund because it's their cancellation policy. So we're empowering them to be the merchant of record. And this is the key to that, Steve,
Mm.
is they will actually have their own payment processing. They'll do all the processing themselves. They'll
Wow.
be they'll be able to set the percentage in regards to how much the guests will pay and everything. Here's the nice thing also is that they'll be able to get paid right away because it'll be directly linked to their bank, but because they're the merchant of record and have their own payment processing, that they'll get paid directly. So for instance, here's a pain point that my wife and I experienced is that we have two properties and one of them is a place on Lake Michigan, and so the majority of the rentals are in the summertime. Well, we get bookings in November, December, January for June, July, August, and we don't see any of that money, Steve, until after the guest has stayed. So that money is floated. That's not directly given to us to be able to do as we see fit. And we've changed that model. You will get
Wow.
paid right away. So.
Why do you think that websites like Airbnb hold on to that money?
Well, I think, speculation is obviously there's a lot of interest that they can gain off of that money.
That's
So,
the first thing that came to my mind. So now you
yes,
just, let's add another week that they held on to, I don't know, $2,000, whatever it is, times the
right.
next person, times the next person, time. Yeah, you're making some cash there, Airbnb.
Lots of cash. And we developed DirectStay not for us, but really for the people. We just wanted to give them an opportunity to be able to have the things that they really want and that they're not getting. And like I said, it was pain points for us, Steve, for the last 8 years that has led to this. A lot of times I tell people that your purpose is always found in your pain. That
Mm.
that you're going through this or you're having a pain in this area because you're actually meant to be the solution or the remedy for it in some capacity.
One would think at the surface that you're like Airbnb, it's in the same kind of thing. But on the back end, for the person that's renting, radically different. This venture for you is radically different than your previous path. Can you tell us what led here?
Absolutely. So, yeah, and this is obviously with your network, Steve. I know there's a lot of people that are involved in health, and you guys have done a great job with that. That's been my background for 25 years. Is I was in the health industry and also became a certified holistic health coach. And I always tell people that
Wow.
that direct stay, it's not something that I went after. It found me. I didn't find it. So it's just something that I was purposed to do, and I didn't see it coming. And here it is. Here we are. But yeah, my background was I went to Western Michigan University, got a degree in exercise science, community health, was real passionate about helping people become healthy. And had my own serious sickness and disease that led me into the certified holistic health coach path. But like I said, there was my pain, but then out of that, I became a coach and have been able to help a lot of people with their health. And then was transitioned and through a curveball with DirectStay here. But it's been exciting. I've gotten a chance to meet so many amazing people, work with so many amazing people, and I'm here with you, which has been great. So.
I and I'm glad you're here. I appreciate it. What a great idea. I get downloads all the time and ideas. I'm a, creative marketing person.
Sure.
I've got, based on what you just said, the holistic healing side of things,
Sure.
a website to find retreats. You didn't hear that from me, but
Okay. I
because
got
I
the
do a lot of podcasts with holistic healers, and every once in a while the word retreat comes up, and then I got to thinking, I would love to do that, but I'm not sure where. There's a one-off here, and somebody mentioned. Imagine if there was a place where people could advertise their retreats, where you could say, "Where do I want to go? Sedona? Where? What's this one about?" I don't know. We digress, but that it's an
Oh,
organic conversation.
that's brilliant though, Steve. And believe it or not, you didn't know this, but one of our launches here shortly is Sedona. And so I was like, okay, this is like a
That's
perfect.
weird.
Yeah, it is. That's like one of our second or third cities here on our initial launch, which is amazing. But I appreciate that definitely is a great idea that I'm writing down here. I think that's
There's a
amazing.
need. There's just a need for it, and more people are open to um, healing and the spiritual side of things. But where would you turn for that? I wouldn't even know where to. I know a lady and I did a podcast with her in Sedona, and I was like, one day maybe I'll reach out to her and pull a trigger and do a retreat like that. But that's all I got. And there's so many of them, literally around the world, for holistic healing. Wow. So when somebody is considering Airbnb, they have a property, how do you onboard them? How does that whole process start? They have a rental. What comes next?
Yeah, great question. So basically, all their listing is brought over to DirectStay, and what we do is we introduce them to our team. We consider it a family, and so there's a vetting and a verification and those type of things. We have a lot of. We're working with a company that, as you know, AI is big now, Steve. Right? It's
Sure.
pretty much, I mean, involved in everything, and so. Like I was speaking about earlier before, the big thing that we want to earn with our new hosts that are coming over from the other platforms, we want to earn their trust. We don't expect that. We expect to earn it, and so we're gonna do that by working with them, getting to know them, and showing them all the different ways that we have in the things that we have set up to ensure that they'll have an excellent business. But what we do is transfer over their listing. We start the process. Like I said, they get their own payment processing, which they'll go through a process with in regards to, just getting aligned with the bank and those type of things. And so there's overview with that. And then once everything's approved, Steve, they can get going right away. They can start right away. Even if the payment processing hasn't been fully approved yet by the bank, that they can get started with us. We do have processing they can use temporarily if they need to start right away.
Hmm.
But the process we wanted to make was very simple and just go ahead, bring everything over like I said, and make sure that it's approved, that their property has been approved. And so we look into that really closely, and then we find out exactly what it is that they want. What are you looking for to accomplish with your business? So we go through even a process of interview and that type of thing with them to get to know them. So.
How about some of the benefits, the advantages of using DirectStay?
Yes, lots of benefits, lots of advantages for the new host, specifically true ownership. And when I mean that is that they will truly own every part of their business. We are just a platform that is there for marketing and to make a connection with them for people that are looking for those types of properties. But they'll be able to control their payments, their rules, their regulations, cancellation policies. They will, be able to connect with their host right away, Steve, like we talked about earlier. So from day one, they're going to be able to have a conversation. They'll have their phone number, they'll have their email address. And so the communication and relationship and connection can start from day one. But the big thing that I think that is people are looking for, Steve, is they're looking for more bookings. And that's where we come into play on their behalf. They're also looking to make more money. And so what we've done is we've taken this model to where they will be able to capture 100% of their commission. And basically people ask, well, how does your platform stay in business? How do you make money? And we have set up simply 3 tiers of subscription. And basically each tier, depending on how many properties you have, will pay for itself after the first rental. That's the nice thing about it. And so it depends on what you're looking for, how many properties you have, how much technology you want to invest in and involve in your property. And there's a lot of AI that you can get into. You can have your own AI agent if you want that can run a lot of this for you. There's all types of different advantages. So it just depends on what it is that you're looking for and what package or subscription tier would work the best for you.
How does DirectStay benefit when somebody puts their business, their rental online?
Sure. We benefit actually by seeing them benefit first and foremost. And the way that we benefit is seeing them have true ownership, grow their business, profit because they're going to make a lot more money. And we have partnered with a lot of different companies that will bring multiple streams of revenue to the business owner, which they don't have now, Steve, which we're super excited about because we consider DirectStay to be a wealth building platform. They're going to also, here's a big thing, they're going to receive residual income, Steve, which, as you know, that's the golden ticket for generational wealth. How does that work? Somebody refers a new host to DirectStay, and as long as that host is active on our website or our platform, they'll receive residual income for that referral because we really appreciate you bringing someone to this message and in this movement. And so we're going to give you residual income. And it's not just a lot of the platforms will give you like a one-time fee as a thank you. We want to pay you for as long as that person is a part of our business because they're contributing to what we're doing. And our hope is that they're also doing very well themselves. So we want to make sure that you're blessed for that, for being able to bring them to us. And so there's a lot of things that we have for them.
I believe in the same exact thing. I have a marketing company, and when somebody refers somebody else, it's not just well, here's a little one-off thank you for. If they continue to spend, then whoever referred them continues to make a percentage of it. That's my belief, because it's appreciated, right? When somebody refers somebody else.
Right. I got a quick thing I want to add to that.
Go right ahead.
Because if you don't mind, because you brought up something really big. So we have affiliate marketing for bloggers. We have affiliate marketing for, here's a neat thing we're doing is that we believe in the commerce of each community locally. And so what we're doing is we're working with all the local business owners and the hosts, and that they will have the opportunity to be able to share with their guests all the top spots in their local area. And as the host is able to share, they will actually they'll receive income for that, and the local business owner will receive more business. So we want to connect the host and the business owner together, and then for the host to receive more money as they're sharing this with their incoming guests in the town. So we're making a big investment in the local communities where we're being established.
Amazing. I have to believe that you and your wife, first of all, you have a rental property, or at least one, and that's kind of like the starting point for this. But I
Yes.
have to believe also that you like to vacation, you like to go to unique, different places, and that kind of fueled the passion for this. Would I be right in just assuming that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I know there's a lot of people out there that love to travel, and my wife and I are no different. So, we wanted to open up great experiences for people all over the country. Eventually, our goal and our vision, Steve, is to go worldwide with this, but we want to make sure that we have a really strong footprint and movement here in the United States. And so there's so many beautiful places to visit. We're excited to help people connect and come together and have great experiences in places where they have been or maybe they haven't been, and connect them with these local business owners that really are the rock stars, the hosts of the rock stars of their communities, and make this a real good impactful connection for these local communities, increase the revenue for everyone that's involved.
I recently felt the pain of somebody who hosts a rental property. A friend of mine went on one of those big websites and found it, and then he connected me with it's in a condo complex, but really nice. Almost it's like a resort. Amazing. And it's in a different country, Caribbean. Um, and he connected me with the woman that hosts his, who connected me with one of her neighbors in the complex. And we went direct because they're so tired of dealing with these big websites and the percentages they take, the impersonal situation, all the other stuff that comes along with it. um, I'll be referring DirectStay to all of them because they're looking for a change. And would you say that all these other big websites, it's basically all the same, their business model, the way it all works?
Yes, they're very similar, and thanks for that, Steve. I appreciate that referral. We'll make you an affiliate. So, like I said, no, really, I mean, for anybody like that, we don't take referrals lightly. You can refer anywhere, but we appreciate that because you're helping people join the movement. And so it's a big deal for us. We appreciate people. We love people. We love business. We love seeing people do well, and that's really, what we're all about with this. And so, yes, absolutely. That's a big thing that's happening, is that these big platforms are losing a lot of their business because people will go around the back door after they initially make that establishment and say, "Hey, listen, I don't want to pay all these fees." We want people to have these connections without having to do that. So, like I said, we don't want to take from them. We want to provide as many opportunities as possible to give to them and see them prosper. And so we believe that they're going to stay on the platform to do that because that's the environment and the atmosphere that we're creating. We don't want to push you away. We want you to join us and to be able to prosper and do all the things and run the business that the way that you want to do that. So,
I feel that this is not just a website. You're creating a culture.
yes.
You're
Yeah.
creating a culture for people that want to put their properties up there. If you own a property, you're proud of it. You want to show it off. You want people to experience what you experience when you stay there. And then certainly a culture on the other side for those looking for places to stay. Is it as simple as just going to directstay.com?
It's directstaynow.com. Yes,
Thank you.
it is. And the interesting thing, Steve, is that we're in a soft beta launch right now. So that website is still in development. You
Sure.
can go there. Everybody's welcome to go there and to take a look at it and just to see the aesthetic pleasingness of it, how it looks and those things. Not fully operational yet, but it will be. We're expecting 2 to 3 weeks. So this is a big pre-launch. And really why we're with you, Steve, is to get the word out so that people will, be able to know where they want to go, where they can go if that's something of interest to them, that they like this message and what we've put together for them.
Very exciting. Thank you for all of this. Wonderful that we have an alternative to the those other sites, Breck. Thank you so much for being here, and looking forward next time we get together.
Yeah, absolutely. Are we out of time, Steve? We have something to end with real quick, or what do you got?
We got about 30 seconds.
3 seconds. Okay, so one of the other things that we're doing that I think so exciting is that one of the big things is all these rules and regulations locally, Steve, and maybe we can talk about this on our next show. But we've got a partner that actually will help them set all these things up and help them do it themselves or do it for them. And maybe we can talk a little bit more about that on our next show.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so much to talk about here. Who
There is.
doesn't love to go away? Who doesn't love to make money? DirectStayNow.com. And we'll catch up next time. Thanks again.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.